So the battle for Gujarat is now officially underway. Elections will be conducted in two phases. The first phase on the 1st of December, second phase on the 5th of December, and counting along with Himachal Pradesh on the 8th of December. Now, reacting to criticism over the delay in the announcement of dates for Gujarat, the Chief Election Commissioner, Rajiv Kumar, has said that there are still 110 days left before the end of the Assembly tenure. That's the 18th of February 2023. So, the elections have been announced well in time. Let me go across to Sanket for more on this now. Sanket, a valid argument, would you say, over there from the Election Commission, considering they've come in for sharp criticism, especially from the Congress party?
You see, Maha, as far as rules are concerned, I think the Election Commission is very clear. This is in no way a violation of any rules. What the Congress party continuously maintains, or the opposition is maintaining, that the dates for the Gujarat elections were not announced along with Himachal so that the Prime Minister could have some extra time available to make certain big decisions and make big announcements, which post the announcement of elections you can't do because the model code of conduct is in place. He's given his reasons, and I think most of the reasons that the Chief Election Commissioner gave were to do with the legality and not the immorality of this decision. Of course, the Election Commission also maintains that legally speaking, they've gone by the rules, they've followed precedents. This is not for the first time this has happened. The gap between announcement and election, this is also not the shortest. All those answers he has already answered. But you see, the big battle has now begun and the announcement made. First phase election is going to take place on the 1st of December, pretty much like it happened the last time. And the second phase is going to take place on the 5th of December. Now, we do not know, and we'll have to wait for the breakup from the Election Commission, because that detail has not been given. Usually the Election Commission does give details of how many assembly constituencies will go into polls in phase 1, how many in phase 2, which part of Gujarat will go in phase 1, which part in phase 2. So we'll have to wait for that detailed document in just a short moment to know how this has been divided. Usually it is the division in Gujarat is Kutch and Saurashtra, so it's North Gujarat and South Gujarat. That's how it is usually divided. How is that going to happen this time around? One does not know. The counting will happen on the 8th of December. So on the 8th of December, we'll have the result. Now, politically speaking, Maha, we've been talking about this in the past also. This is for the first time in, the recent political history of about 26, 27 years in Gujarat that you have a three-way contest. Now, obviously, the Congress does not believe that this is a three-way contest, but an Aam Aadmi party has thrown its hat in the ring.
Yes.
You've got the Congress party, which is trying to retain its turf as the principal opposition party and perhaps have a shot at the center, or a shot at power. And the BJP, who are the present incumbents of 26 years. So it's a prestige battle on all three fronts. But it'll be very interesting to see whether the Aam Aadmi party is going to be the disruptor for Congress, or will it be the disruptor for the BJP? Will they eat into the votes of the Congress, or will they eat into the votes of the BJP? Because if they damage Congress, then, a simple math and calculation will tell you that this is a very easy win then, in that case, for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
All right, so let's take that thought forward with Ankit Tyagi, who's joining us live now from Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Ankit, we were talking about specifically the third party that is making waves of some sort, at least created a three-cornered contest in Gujarat, the Aam Aadmi Party. What has been their campaign like so far? And Ankit, what are their plans ahead from here on as election dates have now finally been announced?
Well, they are the new kid in the block, on the block, in fact, here in Gujarat, and there is no doubt that people are talking about them. But whether that translates into votes for Arvind Kejriwal and his party, that would be interesting to see tomorrow, in fact. And, what a timing it is, because today the elections have been announced. Tomorrow, Arvind Kejriwal's campaign of asking people. They are tried and tested formula of going to people, asking them, tell us who should be our chief ministerial candidate. That campaign ends tomorrow. Mr. Kejriwal is going to be here at around noon, about 2 o'clock. They are going to announce their chief ministerial face as far as this Gujarat campaign is concerned. It is most likely going to be a former television journalist, in Gujarati, hotshot television journalist, Istan Gadvi, who is now with the Aam Aadmi Party, most likely going to be named as the chief minister face of the party. But, important would be this, that from tomorrow till 8th, Arvind Kejriwal is in Gujarat. They are going across. They'll be coming to Rajkot. They'll be going to Morbi, other places as well. The fact, Maha, is that whether the Aam Aadmi Party would be able to make people believe that they are a better alternative than the Congress Party, because while we were traveling, there are a lot of people, those started feeling the Congress fatigue. They feel that, we are voting for them, but they are not winning. And this has, in fact, increased after the 2017 election, because that was being seen as an election for the Congress party to win. There was a concerted effort, Rahul Gandhi doing more than 100 sabhas, and the Congress party actually got the best results in almost 3 decades that they could muster, but even that was not good enough to take them past the majority mark. They got about 77 seats in 2017. The BJP, after a very long time, were at 99, which is just 7 over the majority mark in 2017. So it will be interesting to see whether that fatigue factor translates votes or, gives any kind of boost to Aam Aadmi Party, or people think that, they are just the new ones in the block. They might not be able to do much. And the infrastructure problems that the Aam Aadmi Party might face, booth agents in every village, booth agents in every polling station, whether those things do creep in. So that will be the interesting thing to see. But very quickly on the point that Sanket was making, that we have not yet known which constituencies would be going in poll in the first phase, which one in the second phase. That also, in fact, is a very important factor, given the Congress is strong in North Gujarat and rural areas. We'll have to wait and see how that.
In fact, I see Ankit and Maha. I think Arvind Gunasekar is there at the venue where the press conference happened. Arvind, do we now have information on how these phases are going to be divided? How many constituencies going to polls in phase 1 and in phase 2?
Yeah, Sanket, in fact, the Election Commission has given the list of where they have given the how the constituencies will be segregated into 2 phases. In fact, I don't have the exact count, but they have given the list, and I think we can put it out shortly. But coming to the other point regarding this, because there have been several criticism coming from the opposition quarters about how the Election Commission has delayed the announcement of polls in Gujarat, and there are also questions that why didn't the Election Commission club the elections of Gujarat with Himachal when the Election Commission announced the dates for Himachal at least 2 weeks earlier. But what Election Commission has said is that there are several factors that have to be considered before announcing the schedule for any assembly. In fact, what they are saying is that the tenure of this particular assembly, that's the Gujarat, is still sometime at around 18 February 2023. That's almost a good amount of time that the Election Commission has, and that's why, keeping everything in mind, including the security apparatus and all other things in mind, that's how the Election Commission decided to announce the dates for Gujarat Assembly completely separately, because they didn't want the model code of conduct, a lengthy model code of conduct in both the states. If the Election Commission were to announce club the elections of Gujarat with Himachal, then the model code of conduct in Gujarat would be quite a lengthy one, and that's why, in order to cut short the model code of conduct, etc., and that's why the Election Commission says that they decided to segregate both Gujarat and Himachal. And all on this very important issue about this Morbi tragedy, the Election Commission said that they will ensure that the level playing field is maintained. They would not allow anything that would vitiate the free and fair elections in the state of Gujarat.
Right. Tanushri Pandey is also joining us now from Morbi. In fact, Tanushri, this election undoubtedly is happening in the shadow of that massive tragedy in Morbi. Do people believe that their voices will be more effective or important at this point when elections are being held to help them get justice?
Maha, of course, the election dates have been announced, but I'll also like to establish where we are right now, where for the last 48 hours and more now, the search operation still on. One of the most unfortunate incident, perhaps not just in the state of Gujarat, but in, the entire country has witnessed in the recent times, took place here in Morbi district of Gujarat on Sunday, where at least 135 people lost their lives. So yes, definitely the election results have been announced, but also let's not forget that what kind of tragedy right now the entire state is trying to get over with. Now I have some of the locals of Morbi with me, and I will take some questions as to understand what is the mood on the ground regarding such a huge tragedy has taken place. ज़्यादा सबसे पहले आपसे सवाल लेना चाहूंगी, आप वही सज्जन है जो इतने दिनों से खाना खिला रहे हैं सभी डिफेंस वालों को, मीडिया वालों को लगातार, सबसे पहले शुक्रिया करना चाहूंगी आपका। अच्छा, आप अब ये मुझे बात बताइए, इतना बड़ा हादसा हो गया, 135 लोगों की जानें चली गई, परिवार खत्म हो गए, बच्चे मर गए, चुनाव का डेट आज अनाउंस हो गया है आप लोग के यहाँ, 1 और 5 तारीख को चुनाव है, 8 दिसंबर को रिजल्ट है। चुनाव पे इसका किस तरीके से असर पड़ेगा? सबसे पहले बता दूं, किसको वोट देंगे मुझे मत बताइएगा, चुनाव पे असर कैसे पड़ेगा? क्या सरकार से कोई नाराजगी है लोगों की?
मोरबी के लोग तो बहुत नाराज है। जैसे इतनी बड़ी बहुत पुरानी इमारतें हैं और इमारतों को जो रिसर्च नहीं करते और जो जिसके गवर्नमेंट में आता है, अधिकारियों में जहां भी आता है, और ये जब शुरू किया तो पहले अगर चेक कर लिया होता तो जो इतने बच्चों की जो जाने गई ना मोरबी में, तो वो नहीं जाती। और जितनी भी बहुत पुरानी इमारत है ना, उसके ऊपर हर एक सिक्योरिटी गार्ड होने जाए। तो इसके हिसाब से जो तंत्र की जो जहां से शुरू है, ऐसा तो मैं कोई नहीं बोल सका कि जिसकी भी सरकार हो, जो बहुत से पुरानी इमारतें हैं ना,
तो नाराजगी आप कह रहे हैं?
हाँ, उससे
आप मुझे बताइए, आप वोट देते हैं, यंग वोटर हैं आप गुजरात मोरबी के, इतना बड़ा ट्रेजेडी हो गया है, 135 पीपल हैव लॉस्ट देयर लाइव्स, कैसा ये इलेक्शन में आपको लगता है पोलिंग पे इसका असर पड़ेगा? इज देयर एंगर रिगार्डिंग टुवर्ड्स द गवर्नमेंट?
No, that's not issue, but I will say Morbi's people are understanding very well, as well as cable bridge was collapsed is such a mistakes by locals, and other thing was that there is no proper safety way.
Correct.
Okay, can you understand that?
म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन
Yes,
और प्राइवेट कंपनी जो
yes,
थी,
yes,
उनका
definitely.
उनकी परमिशन से ये जो ब्रिज खुला था, क्या लगता है नाराजगी है इस वक्त पे सरकार
Yes.
से, उनकी जो अधिकारी हैं उनसे?
Yes, definitely नाराजगी तो है, लेकिन मोरबी की जनता समझदार है। और दूसरी एक चीज है जो बहुत मेरे दिमाग में भी आई, जैसे ये सब हादसा हो गया एक बार, अभी इसको बदला नहीं जा सकता, लेकिन आगे में ऐसा हो ना, इसके लिए प्रॉपर एक सेफ्टी वे, प्रिकॉशंस एंड
बहुत जरूरी बात आप कर रहे हैं। क्या लग रहा है इस पे, क्या वोटिंग पे, पोलिंग पे इसका
Yes,
कोई
yes.
इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा?
यस, डेफिनेटली इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, लेकिन मैंने जैसे आपको पहले बोला कि मोरबी की जनता समझदार है क्या नहीं, क्योंकि यहाँ के लोकल्स जो है वो देख रहे हैं, काम को देख रहे हैं, क्या चीज है क्या है नहीं, वो सभी बारी बारी कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जो है वो तो है।
सर, आपसे एक सवाल लेना चाहूंगी, आप भी यहाँ के बहुत पुराने वोटर हैं, एक छोटा सा मोरबी शहर है, ज्यादा लोग इसको भारत में इसका नाम भी नहीं सुना था, पर अब जब दुर्घटनाओं में गिना जाएगा।
All right, that's Tanushri getting us those reactions from Morbi as well. Clearly, this election, Sanket, as we were discussing, will be held in the shadow of that massive tragedy in Gujarat. But let me now bring in our political analysts as well. Ashutosh Srivastav, pro-BJP political analyst there, as well as Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst pro the Congress party. Tehseen, coming first to you today, the Chief Election Commissioner has himself responded to all the criticism coming their way for what was being called a delay in the announcement of dates. He said that there is ample time, 110 days to go before the end of the Gujarat Assembly tenure. Do you and the Congress party believe that's a valid argument that has now been provided?
You know, I heard the Chief Election Commissioner and he sought refuge in legality. But one of the most important questions that we must ask ourselves is legality over morality. And I think that's where the Chief Election Commissioner completely failed to answer moralistic questions. The moralistic questions were these. Last time Himachal and Gujarat were announced together. Yes, legally, he still has time to announce Gujarat and they did it within time. But why were they not announced together? Question number 2, last time during the Gujarat elections, we all remember how the model code of conduct was violated by the Honorable Prime Minister of Gujarat, Prime Minister of India, by flying that seaplane in Gujarat and saying first time in India seaplane is flown. Since then that seaplane wasn't flown. Why were these exceptions made? What action was taken post that? Will these now apply for the Prime Minister? And why was the Honorable Prime Minister allowed to make announcements after announcements? And only when he finished the announcements and the inaugurations was this announced election. I have one very pertinent point to ask, and I'm very disappointed no journalist asked the election commissioner this. For Morbi, what happened? Isn't somebody election commissioner or the election commission responsible? Had they announced these dates earlier, the bridge would not have been inaugurated the way it was. These inaugurations that happened, this fanfare, shouldn't the election commission at least morally take up some responsibility?
All right. That's the argument coming in from Tehseen Poonawalla. Let me now go across to Ashutosh Srivastava for a question with regards to the three-cornered contest in Gujarat this time around. The Aam Aadmi Party is there as well. Will it be advantage BJP, considering that what most people believe is the opposition votes will be split?
See, that could be a probability, but see, this is the first time AAP is contesting election in Gujarat, so it will be very difficult to say at this moment. But see, the people of Gujarat will obviously see whatever the government has done so far, what developments have been carried out, and how the lives of people have changed, what kind of investments have come to the state. And all these factors will matter so far as the Gujarat people are concerned. Also, the employment and other factors, as we have seen recently, many big investment have gone to Gujarat from so many other states. So that would, I think, will make a good impact so far as the ruling BJP is concerned at present. Okay. And so far as my friend said about the election commission, I do not find anything wrong which has been decided by the election commission. The election commission is very much within the ambit of law so far as Article 324 of the Constitution is concerned and other laws are concerned. There is no delay at all. And there is no law as such that two states election should be declared together. There is nothing like that.
At that point, I think, was made by Tehseen. He said that if legality is considered, the Election Commission is well within its rights to announce the dates that they've done today. But what they are raising is an ethical question. Yes,
just wanted to remind our viewers, this is exactly what happened last time also, in 2017. So, in that sense, this is not something unique which has happened this time around. Of course, the questions around it are being raised. The Congress party is raising questions on the fairness of the election commission. The EC, the Chief Election Commissioner, responded. But you know, Tehseen, the bigger question over here is, let's keep the election commission out of the process and talk about the electoral contest itself. It's a three-way fight. There is a new player called the Aam Aadmi Party, which has the momentum but perhaps not the ground strength as the Congress. There is a Congress which has the ground strength, it has the cadre, the base, the infrastructure, but it does not have that dynamic leadership or even the campaign, which has not, reached that fever pitch that one would expect. And then you have an incumbent, a very strong one at that, called the Bharatiya Janata Party, which after 26 years in power wants to continue to retain power. Tehseen, in a situation like this, what is your calculation about the Aam Aadmi Party's advent? Are they going to damage the Congress or damage the BJP?
Okay, Sanket, can I just come in here for a bit? Can we take this question with Tehseen in just a bit? We have to take a very quick break, but Tehseen will be back and then you can just respond to Sanket's question, very pertinent one there. The battle for Gujarat is well and truly underway now. I have with me Tehseen Poonawalla as well as Ashutosh Srivastava and Sanket Upadhyay. Tehseen, go ahead, answer that question that Sanket asked you just before we headed into the break.
So, very, very briefly, I think that one, for sure, the BJP is not going to regain power in Gujarat. They are definitely being voted out. And yes, Sanket is absolutely right in his analysis that what damage does the Aam Aadmi Party do. In my humble opinion, I think the Congress campaign is extremely strong. The Honorable Prime Minister himself conceded that Congress is reaching each and every doorstep. Priyanka Gandhi, Vadra, Kharge Saab, Mrs. Gandhi, they're all going to be campaigning in Gujarat. And I think this time Gujarat's going to see a transformation. It's going to see a Congress government. I think the Aam Aadmi Party is not going to be able to damage the Congress sufficiently enough like Goa to help a BJP form of government.
No, why are you so sure? Because you see, you said the same thing, and by you I mean the Congress party said the exact same thing in Goa also. And you have the Aam Aadmi Party which managed a, I won't say enough, but a significant vote share for the first time. We have seen the Gandhinagar municipality example, which is in front of our eyes, where the Aam Aadmi Party entered and the Congress vote share reduced from 42% to 20 odd. The Aam Aadmi Party got the remaining and the BJP retained its 40% odd and they ruled. I mean, what is the don't you think that there is a strong probability now that with this split in the opposition, for all you know, the BJP may get its strongest ever performance in terms of seats?
The strongest ever performance, the Honorable Home Minister of India was claiming would happen last time. It didn't happen, and actually the BJP won't get its strongest ever performance. I understand it's first past the post system, but the BJP is definitely losing government. And I'll tell you why it won't work for the Aam Aadmi Party. It won't work for the Aam Aadmi Party because the people of Gujarat have seen through what they've done in Surat, in Gandhinagar, as well as what they're doing in Punjab and Delhi. It is so evident the amount of misrepresentation the Aam Aadmi Party did in Delhi and Punjab with the pollution issue, with other issues, the governance in Punjab. And see, people of Gujarat are extremely self-respecting. They don't want Delhi to be running Gujarat completely. They don't want Kejriwal ji to be running it via remote control. They're seeing how Bhagwat Mann ji has absolutely no decision-taking powers, how outsiders are running Punjab, and Gujarat is not going to allow it. Now, you may argue, but Delhi is already running Gujarat. But please remember, Prime Minister Modi comes from Gujarat. They're not going to accept Arvind Kejriwal ji doing that.
No, but that can be your hope or your feeling, Tehseen.
That's scientific data. Scientific data.
Where is the scientific data? Ashok Gehlot says that our campaign is very strong because our campaign is low-key. I want to understand what does low-key campaign mean?
It means
you either
exactly
campaign
what the
or you don't. What is low-key?
I'll explain to you. It means exactly what the Honorable Prime Minister said. And the Honorable Prime Minister said, don't take the Congress lightly. It's reaching every door, every house. Every house you go to in Gujarat, the people there are fed up with the BJP misgovernance. They know that the Aam Aadmi Party is not going to form the government. They know that the Aam Aadmi Party is only giving jumla so as to try and split the Congress vote. And the opposition vote is united behind the Congress. Not just that, even traditionally other opposition parties that sort of got votes anti-BJP are today uniting behind the Congress. The Congress is sweeping Gujarat with more than 50% vote share. I'm making an extremely big statement on NDTV. But mark my words and I'll be there for you on election day.
All right.
The Congress is sweeping Gujarat.
All right. That's about the Congress. But Sanket, I want to specifically ask you about the BJP. This is a stronghold of the BJP, Gujarat. It's the home state of the Prime Minister. What is the BJP's aim? To improve upon its 2017 tally because it had slipped into 2 digits. Of course, then later on over the course, they made up and came back to 3 digits. But will their aim be to make it a bigger win this time?
Exactly. I think this is a matter of great prestige for the BJP. In 2017, remember the sequence of events. There was a very strong Patidar agitation which was against the incumbents. Against the BJP government, and that agitation did harm the BJP a lot. In fact, back in the day in 2017, we also know that there were lots of comments that were made on whether RSS is supporting the BJP or not. But the BJP is still the Prime Minister with a record number of rallies, and remember this is his home turf, so he spoke extensively in Gujarati, that Gujarati touch he gave in all his rallies. The BJP managed 99 in the peak of massive anti-incumbency. This time around, what all does not exist? So yes, anti-incumbency does exist, right? But is it strong enough to dislodge the BJP? Secondly, the Patidar agitation. Patidar community is a very, very significant community. The main face of the Patidar agitation between 2017 and 2022 was an independent, moved to the Congress, became Congress working president and is now in the BJP. One member of the Patidar agitation, Gopal Italia, is now with the Aam Aadmi Party, right? So, is the Patidar anger as strong as it was, or the wave of anger against the BJP as strong as it was in 2017, is something which will be put to test. Because the principal protagonists are now in different political formations.
Correct.
Capturing the imagination on the ground, that is another big point. The BJP on its part hopes, and what they officially hope is that the charisma of the Prime Minister, the Home Minister from the same state, leadership, remember they had gone for a mid-term change, an unheard of change where Chief Minister downwards the entire government was sacked and replaced by brand new people, including a Patel at the top, Bhupendra Patel.
Yes.
Right? Many people called it remote control, but the point is a Patel was there at the helm for 1.5 years. Now, is this all these changes that were made about a year ago going to have some sort of an impact now, coupled with the fact that you have got 3 players now, and history suggests that Aam Aadmi Party has in the past damaged the Congress more than the Bharatiya Janata Party. They have, and the Gandhinagar example that I am giving, you ask anyone in Gujarat and they will tell you that this has happened. The Aam Aadmi Party, apart from urban pockets, is also focusing on all those pockets in North Gujarat and rural areas which have traditionally been Congress strongholds. So who will the AAP damage is what is going to decide the result of the Gujarat
The Congress
election.
party then, that is why, continues to accuse the Aam Aadmi Party of being the B team of the BJP. Yes. But, Sanket, you touched upon an important issue that harmed the BJP last time around. Of course, they won by sizable number. But Arvind is joining us now from the Election Commission, outside the Election Commission office. Arvind, questions about the Morbi tragedy were asked of the Election Commission, and whether or not that inquiry can impact the dates or something of that sort. What was the response of the Election Commission?
Yeah, Maha, there was this specific question to the Chief Election Commission about this Morbi tragedy, wherein the Gujarat government has already ordered an investigation into this entire tragedy, wherein almost over 130 people lost their lives, for which the Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar clearly said that the Election Commission will ensure that the level playing field is maintained for this elections in Gujarat. And he also said that there won't be any factor that will be allowed to vitiate this atmosphere that would ruin or that would disturb the free and fair elections in the state. Though the election commissioner, Chief Election Commissioner, didn't get into the specifics of the action that the commission would take when it comes to the inquiry that is currently underway in connection with this Morbi tragedy, but the election commission said that the free and fair election will be ensured in the state of Gujarat. In fact, to a question about why was this a delay in announcing elections for Gujarat, for which he said that the Morbi tragedy also played a factor in election commission delaying the announcement of elections in Gujarat to a factor. In fact, he also said that because it was a state mourning in Gujarat yesterday, and that's why the election commission had to announce the schedule today and not yesterday. So that's where the election commission made reference to Morbi tragedy, but the election commission made it very clear that they would ensure that this particular tragedy does not vitiate the free and fair election that the election commission is aiming to conduct in Gujarat.
Okay, let me go across to Ankit Tyagi now, who is joining us from Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Ankit, staying with the Morbi tragedy that you've covered extensively, now on the ground, is there a sense that since this tragedy has happened so close to the elections, on the ground there could be an impact on, do the people feel that it may help them perhaps get justice, considering the political parties will be under pressure at this moment?
The sense of them being denied justice is there. There is palpable anger in Morbi, and Morbi issue has been the talk around Gujarat, as other districts in Gujarat as well. That is possibly the reason that why we, for the first 24 hours and 48 hours, did not see any movement forward by the police as far as the top officials of the Morbi Municipal Corporation are concerned, or even the Oreva Group owners are concerned. Well, they are yet to be apprehended or named as far as the FIRs are concerned, but there is some movement on that. So there is a sense that the government doesn't want, this kind of anger to be coupled with or to be enhanced by the feeling to be enhanced by the fact that there is no justice being given to the people. But having said that, how much of an impact will it actually have on the polls? beyond Morbi is something when we start traveling around Gujarat, we'll only know. But, you know, Maha, you and Sanket was speaking about the previous elections and the key factors which are likely to be in this election. I've covered the 2012 election, then 2017 election, and just to take our viewers through, in 2012, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the Chief Minister, he was fighting the election under his name, his banner. The very slogan that you will hear from the people was that "Me Modi ka manus chu," that I am Modi's man. That is what the campaign that Prime Minister Narendra Modi ran, and it was a very, very viral campaign. People used to use posters, t-shirts, caps, and this was the talk of the town. When you came to 2017, he was already in Delhi. There was a Chief Minister who had replaced Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The sense and why the BJP was just able to cross the majority mark, which is 92, they got 97 seats, and particularly from two cities, Ahmedabad and Surat. These are the cities that saved the Bharatiya Janata Party in the last election. People on the ground were they'll keep repeating one thing: naraz hain par gaddar nahi. So that was their tribute to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They didn't want to make him look bad because he had just gone from Gujarat, from Gandhinagar to national capital Delhi as the Prime Minister of this country. It had just been about 3 years of his term in Delhi. That was the sense even in the urban pockets of Gujarat, and that's possibly the reason why BJP was able to go through the finish line. But despite a lot of people this time talking about bahut ho gaya, 26 years, 27 years, we need to see, especially the young people, we need to see some other political party. The fact is that they still feel that the Congress is not the chariot that will pull over or push over the finishing line. They are talking about the fact that Rahul Gandhi is doing a yatra. Why is he not here? Remember, in the last election in 2017, the Congress party, Rahul Gandhi, did more than 100 sabhas and rallies all across the state of Gujarat. And this time, while the Congress said it's a muted campaign, Ashok Gehlot was here. We've seen the Chhattisgarh Chief Minister also here. But none of the top faces of the Congress party, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, they are yet to tour Gujarat. And the Congress party faction here is riddled with internal problems, and that is what the Aam Aadmi Party wants to exploit. That is the message they are hammering, that you have tried and tested, wasted your vote with the Congress party. In fact, there was a speech which was being given by Arvind Kejriwal when he came last time. He said, even if you don't want to vote for me, don't give me your vote if you don't believe me, but don't waste your vote on the Congress party. They are not the ones, those who are going to defeat the BJP. Okay. That's the positioning that the Aam Aadmi Party wants to convey and take in this Gujarat election. It will be interesting to see whether it is like in 2017 Punjab, is it just mahal, upri hawa, or whether it is translating on the ground as well.
All right, let me go across to our two guests who are joining us here on the show as well. And I see Tanushree is also with us there from Morbi. Our guests will be Aarti Jairat, senior journalist, and Javed Ansari, senior journalist again. But before I go to them, Tanushree, coming to you, you were just speaking to people in Morbi. The wounds of the tragedy are very fresh at the moment, and the state is going to go into elections now. What is the sense you get from the people? As elections approach, they will be going and casting their precious ballot. But, do they feel that all this is going to help them get better infrastructure and their lives are not made as cheap as they were when this bridge fell?
Maha, there is palpable anger on the ground. The citizens, the voters of Morbi are extremely angry with the municipal corporation, with the government after this tragedy. The unfortunate incident of the suspension bridge falling happened on Sunday. Now 135 people have lost their lives. Most of them were children, and let's not forget this ever, that the state which is going to go to polls, that state has also seen one of the biggest tragedies perhaps the country has ever seen in the recent times. I have some people of Morbi with me. Dada, yahan aa jaiye. I will take some quick questions with them. सर, आपसे सवाल लेना चाहूँगी. आप बहुत पुराने मोरबी के वोटर हैं. मैंने आपको देखा, आप पहले दिन से यहाँ बैठे हैं जब ये दुर्घटना हुई. आपके घर के भी लोग मारे गए हैं. सीधा सवाल आपसे ये है, किसको वोट देंगे मुझे बिल्कुल मत बताइएगा, पर क्या इस दुर्घटना का, आज चुनाव डिक्लेयर हुआ है, चुनाव पे असर पड़ने वाला है, पोलिंग पे असर पड़ने वाला है, नाराजगी क्या है सरकार से?
असर तो पड़ेगा, नाराजगी तो रहेगी नहीं. ये दुर्घटना हुआ है मोरबी में, इसलिए तो इतनी नाराजगी तो रहेगी. अभी किसी को वोट देने का इसको बताने के लिए मेरे को जरूर नहीं, मोरबी जनता समझदार है, वो समझ के वोट देगी।
आपके भी घर के लोग आपने बोला मारे?
मेरे परिवार में 3 आदमी चले गए, मेरे परिवार में।
पूरी मोरबी इस वक्त बहुत एक दुखद
दुख घटना है, मोरबी में पूरा दुख घटना है ये।
आप बताइए सर, आप भी एक यंग वोटर हैं मोरबी के, किस तरीके से आपको लग रहा है इम्पैक्ट करेगा ये इतना बड़ा ट्रेजेडी हुआ है? क्या लग रहा है, पोलिंग कैसे होगा इस बार?
मैडम कहीं ना कहीं इम्पैक्ट करेगा, ये तो संभव है, लेकिन जो ये हुआ ये बारी बारी दोहराना, क्योंकि अभी जैसे द्वारिका में भी है, बहुत जगह है, लेकिन उसका इसका फिटनेस सर्टिफिकेट कुछ था नहीं। इसके लिए बहुत सारे सवाल कॉरपोरेशन के सामने खड़े हुए, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के सामने खड़े हुए थे, कलेक्टर के सामने भी ऐसे सवाल खड़े हुए हैं कि ये लोग कर क्या रहे थे।
बहुत जरूरी बात बोली। इसका क्या लगता है, पोलिंग पे कैसे क्या असर पड़ेगा? क्या लोग अपना जो नाराजगी है वो क्या जताएंगे? क्या लगता है, आप बताइए, आप लोग लोकल हैं यहाँ के।
जताएंगे तो बिल्कुल, वो तो निश्चित है, कुछ ना कुछ तो इसका इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा। लेकिन क्योंकि मोरबी जनता ने जो देखा है पिछले 3-4 दिन से लगातार कंटिन्यूसली जो सब चीजें यहाँ पे हो रही है, वो बहुत एक दुखद है, बहुत दुखद है, और इसका तो डेफिनेटली असर पड़ेगा ही पड़ेगा।
So Maha, you know, there's a clear word and a unanimous, in fact, sentiment on the ground that people are extremely angry with the government, with the municipal corporation, as to where were these people when such a big tragedy happened and 135 people lost their lives. Of course, we have asked them to not tell us how they are going to vote, who they are going to vote, but the people are telling us that they are extremely angry with the government and they are waiting for heads to roll. They are waiting for some kind of strict action to be taken against the big fish, you know, not just against some security guards or some ticket collectors, but against those people, against the owner, the municipal corporation chief, who were actually responsible for this kind of tragedy, Maha. So definitely what we are picking up from the ground and from Morbi district, where one of the biggest tragedies have happened, that the tragedy perhaps is going to impact the polling in the state of Gujarat, Maha.
Tanushree, many thanks for getting us the sentiment from the ground in Morbi there. As we have been saying, the wounds are still fresh. The people there speaking about how it's likely to impact the elections. Let me go across now to our guests, Javed Ansari and Aarti Jairat. I've already introduced. Let me also introduce Binay Kumar Singh, political analyst, and Neerja Chaudhary, senior journalist, will also be joining us shortly. Aarti Jairat, coming first to you. Let's talk about one point that was raised by my colleague Ankit about the ground sentiment with regards to the Congress party. Many questioning why Rahul Gandhi hasn't even toured Gujarat and is right now just going about the Bharat Jodo Yatra, which is somewhere far away right now in Hyderabad. Do you think that is going to impact the Congress party's prospects, though they are saying they are continuing with a silent campaign?
I think, Maha, definitely it will affect the Congress party's chances. Because the signal that has gone out is that Rahul Gandhi doesn't consider the Gujarat polls important enough to take time off from his Bharat Jodo Yatra. Of course, in the coming days, he may go for a few rallies, but the kind of effort he put in 5 years ago, where he really campaigned more than addressing more than 100 rallies, getting those 3 young faces on board, who became the spearheads of the Congress campaign, and he created a huge enthusiasm in favor of the Congress, which actually the BJP fought very hard to stop from turning into victory, because the Congress almost won those elections. So I think people are contrasting 2017 with 2022, where the Congress looks very muted, and all the noise and fire and brimstone is coming from the Aam Aadmi Party. Whether the Aam Aadmi Party can actually translate all this noise into votes, and seats, we'll have to see. But certainly I think the Aam Aadmi Party is going to cut into Congress votes, because people who are fed up of the BJP or who would like to change may, some of them may actually say, all right, let's experiment with this new party, Aam Aadmi Party, since the Congress doesn't seem to be taking the state very seriously.
Javed, do you think that the maximum harm that the Aam Aadmi Party might do is to the Congress party? Is that perception or assessment correct?
I would largely agree. it's ironical. Mr. Kejriwal has very assiduously projected himself as a right-wing alternative to Mr. Modi. But the votes that he gets, the votes that he cuts or weans away is from the Congress party and not so much from the BJP. So yes, in the and politics abhors a vacuum for reasons best known to the Congress party. They are not mounting the kind of vigorous campaign that a challenger should. And with all the noise and all the flamboyance that Aam Aadmi Party usually generates these days, Mr. Kejriwal has very swiftly tried to move into that vacuum. Whether he's able to translate this momentum, translate all this noise into votes, that's the big question. But certainly, as far as the optics are concerned, as far as the narrative in the state is concerned, certainly the momentum is, as far as the opposition space is concerned, the momentum is with the Aam Aadmi Party. The Congress Party claims that it will, it's undertaking a very silent campaign. This is for the first time I've heard of a silent campaign. And we had a Congress, somebody aligned to the Congress on your panel saying that they're going to win with over 50% of the votes. This, to me, would appear to be a victory of hope over reality, actually.
Binay Kumar, can you, help us understand why the Congress party is doing this change in the style of campaign? As Javed Ansari is also saying, never really heard of something called a silent campaign, which they are claiming that it's very low key. In a state like Gujarat, can it even work?
Last time, the Congress, they get a good vote share. It was nearly 41%, but more than 41%. And BJP got 49%, a bit more than 49%. So, Rahul Gandhi is known for surprises. So, it is a bit tough for a general mind to understanding what goes inside his mind. So, people are coming with a new, strategy called silent campaign. I have never heard of that. And I don't think my fellow panelists would have also heard of that. It is again a surprise. But still, I think that, the Congress, they have got a certain section of committed votes. If Rahul Gandhi is doing silent campaign or violent, or Kejriwal goes to violent campaign, nothing much more is going to change. Yes, Kejriwal will definitely increase his vote share, but again, I think the Congress party will remain in and around 30%, 2 plus minus 2. I think you cannot ignore, the Congress party, though they are not seem very active, and Rahul Gandhi is out of state doing a marathon or doing a marathon and in other states. So you cannot ignore Congress in a state like Gujarat. I think anywhere in Bihar, UP also, people are for generations they are just voting for Congress. So yes, the vote percentage of Kejriwal will increase. And one more thing, we were just discussing about Morbi. So Morbi, yes, it is very unfortunate and it is very fresh into the minds of the people. It was a lapse on part of the administration. But Morbi is not going to be the whole issue. Morbi is not, it is just like if you taste the temperature of the volcano, of the crater of the volcano just after eruption. So yes, definitely the temperature will be a bit high there. But that is not a case with all of the Gujarat, with whole of Gujarat.
All right.
People are going to vote for many other issues. So they are going for governance, they are going for development. And again, Kejriwal, the way he entered Gujarat, so on one hand, sometimes he tried to show himself as a champion of Hindu rights, and on the other hand, his Aam Aadmi Party Gujarat chief, he becomes a poster boy of Hindu hate. So again, he's trying to confuse the people like he did in Punjab. On one side, his leader, this openly supported Khalistan referendum, and the other side, Kejriwal was opposed to that. So this strategy, the Punjab kind of strategy they are adopting here, they are trying to confuse the people.
Okay, so we will discuss the other political parties as well in the fray. This time is the three-cornered contest, an interesting one in Gujarat. After a very quick break, all our guests are going to stay on with us. The Gujarat elections have officially been announced now for the 1st and the 5th of December, counting to take place on the same day as Himachal on the 8th of December. I have with me our guests who are joining us on the show to discuss the nitty-gritties and the political ramifications of some of the major issues on the ground that are being felt in Gujarat. But let me go across to Aarti Jairat on the question that the Election Commission was posed with today, and several times over, Aarti Jairat, over what has been perceived as a delay in announcing the dates of Gujarat. So the question that some asked was that the allegation from the Congress party is that this was to give some sort of advantage to the BJP. Now the Election Commission has cited the difference in days between the counting and the end of the assembly tenure, and 110 days still to go for the end of the tenure. But those are all, in the legal ambit. The Congress party and the others are raising questions more about, whether it's fair.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, I don't know why the Election Commission did not announce the Gujarat poll date simultaneously with Himachal. At that time, the speculation was that maybe the BJP had some big announcement to make for Gujarat. It hasn't made any big announcement, but it certainly, did go around doing a lot of inaugurations. And ironically, the inauguration of the Morbi Bridge was one of the big things that happened, in this period when the model code of conduct was not in place in Gujarat. And it's turned out to be such a tragedy, for the BJP in Gujarat. Although I do feel that the Morbi tragedy will not affect the whole of Gujarat. Maybe in Morbi itself it may be an issue, but I think in the rest of Gujarat there are lots of other issues at play. And, and that's what people are going to vote on. And clearly the BJP has, is trying to put its best foot forward to make a huge point after the near defeat 5 years ago. This time it wants to not just win and win handsomely, but wants to get the best ever score, even higher than the 2002 elections, which took place post the violence that we saw in Gujarat. So I think, the way it changed the chief minister, in fact, the entire government virtually was, changed overnight 1 year before the polls. The idea being to, give a fresh start and a fresh look to the government so that when they go into polls, people will not remember, the horrors of what they went through during COVID. Gujarat, in fact, was one of the states where the COVID epidemic was one of the worst managed in the country. A lot of the stories have not come out. Now we're hearing anecdotal evidence of, the sort of pyres burning on pavements and on the streets, bodies piling up, how, government facilities, hospital facilities collapsing, no ventilators and so on. And I think the whole point of changing the chief minister was to, airbrush that period in Gujarat. When COVID, took so many lives. Okay. So, and this is a big challenge really before the BJP, whether it can best its best score of 2002 and, wipe out that near defeat of 5 years ago.
All right, but if the BJP took the example of Uttar Pradesh, the elections, the same chief minister went into the polls after COVID and they came out unscathed in some sense. So perhaps, one will have to wait to see the results to look at what all have been the reasons that have impacted the results this time around. But that's some time to go. Neerja Chaudhary is also with us. Neerja Chaudhary, the BJP, as Aarti Jairat is pointing out, their aim will be to better their score. Last time around in 2017, they slipped to a 2-digit figure. And both Javed Ansari and Binay Kumar, who've joined us on the show, have pointed out how the Congress party took an aggressive campaign in 2017. This time around, there is a lot being said about their silent campaign, perhaps not working on the ground. This is what a lot of experts are saying. But do you think, clubbed with that, as well as the entry of a third party like the Aam Aadmi Party, it might end up being advantage BJP rather than, it going in favor of the Congress?
Yeah, it is a triangular contest this time. The Aam Aadmi Party has certainly been more visible and heard more than the Congress. There have been stories about Congress leaders from Gujarat feeling very agitated that more attention had been given to the Bharat Jodo Yatra when that attention should have been focused both on Himachal and Gujarat, because winning these elections is critical. In both places, the Congress had a good chance. And as has been said, last time the Congress almost made it. Its strategy, its campaign, everything was very good. But this time it seems to have almost given up. And it's the Aam Aadmi Party who's being heard. Now, a triangular contest and the arrival of Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat in the short run will help the BJP. In the long run, AAP may pose a real challenge to BJP, a formidable challenge it could be. But in the short run, yes, it will be advantage BJP. And unless the Congress completely caves in.
Javed Ansari, do you think the BJP that is aiming to better its score this time around, what is on the ground? What are the reasons they believe that this could be possible? Because these elections are taking place in the shadow of the Morbi tragedy as well.
Yeah, Morbi, like everybody says, Morbi is a localized affair, and its impact, they will work over time to try and contain that and ensure that it remains limited to Morbi, in and around Morbi. The other reason for their optimism is that the last time the elections were held in the backdrop of a very vigorous and high voltage Patidar agitation, where the Patels were agitating. The youngsters like Mr. Hardik Patel were spearheading that movement, and so a lot of the, in fact, had it not been for Surat, the urban seats from Surat, the BJP could well have ended up on the losing side. So this time there is the Patidar agitation. There is no Patidar agitation. The spearheads have all been co-opted. Most of them are on the side of the BJP. So in the absence of, that's what gives them optimism. And for the Congress, it's not right to club their attitude to Himachal along with Gujarat, because in Himachal they've done their homework. Priyanka Gandhi is very much involved there. The state leadership has been galvanized. They've been first off. This is perhaps for the first time that they've managed to announce most of the seats long before the BJP. Even the infighting seems to be curtailed. That is also that has a lot to do with the fact that Rajiv Shukla has the support of the Congress leadership. Priyanka is very much involved there. She's already been, this is perhaps the first time that she's campaigning out of Uttar Pradesh. She's already done 2 rallies, and I'm told that she's going to visit almost all the constituencies there. So it's whether this will be enough to ensure that they form the government there, I'm not so sure. But certainly they are very much in the fight. They are on the front foot, and they've taken the fight to the BJP camp, which is not evident so much in Gujarat. I don't know whose brainwave this low visibility campaign is. Perhaps they want to cover up the fact, or perhaps they realize in their minds that Gujarat, they don't stand too much of a chance, and the focus, and they've allowed Rahul to focus on the Bharat Jodo Yatra. And let's not wish away the Bharat Jodo Yatra, because evidently, and even in areas where the Congress has been wiped out, it's drawing a very, very good public response.
Binay Kumar Singh, I understand that tomorrow the Aam Aadmi Party is going to announce its chief ministerial candidate after conducting the Choose Your CM campaign in Gujarat. A similar formula was used in Punjab as well. Do you think replicating that formula in a state like Gujarat could help them having a face as to who is going to lead the state if they win the elections? Does that give them any sort of advantage?
No, I don't think that that is going to give them any sort of leverage or any advantage. And one more thing, Javed just rightly mentioned that, last time the rise in percentage of voting in Congress, that was again due to the Patidar agitation, and a good number of Patidar voters, they voted for Congress. This time there is no such kind of agitation like that, and I think Patidars, those who were traditionally voters of BJP, they are back into the BJP fold again. So BJP this time, they don't have the challenge to win the election, but the real challenge in front of them is to set a new benchmark and break all the previous records. And one more thing, the last thing I'll like to mention that every election is an opportunity for the electorates and for our democracy to move into the next league. And institution like Election Commission of India, that must be praised because it's an example for whole of, not for India, but for whole of the world. Such a massive election campaign it conducts, and you just go back 2-3 decades, just back in UP, in Bihar, in many parts of the country, booth looting, violence, murders, and look at today. You leave the 1, 2, 3 very minor incidents, so the election process is totally peaceful, and we must leave it to the Election Commission that what date they are deciding and what are the reasons behind that. So we must not put our institutions on the target, and we must not question them. We must refrain from this habit. And again, I think that there is no challenge, in front of BJP to win the election. Winnability is never a challenge for them. And yes, Modi is the main face. The Aam Aadmi Party, for the first time, they are expecting, something big. So they need to come with a CM face. But for BJP, it is definite that Modi is the face.
All right. So Neeta Chaudhary, then is it more of a prestige issue for, more for the Prime Minister, that Gujarat is not just won, but won by a large number, more than, for the party itself?
Of course, it's Narendra Modi's state, and if the party doesn't do as well as last time or doesn't better its performance, yes, it does reflect on him, because winning the state is also because of him. Otherwise, normally speaking, if you look at it, the way they handle the COVID pandemic, or even the Morbi tragedy that's taken place, which reflects the way decisions are being made. That is what it zeroes in on. That you should have caused any party huge worry, but not in Gujarat. They will try and set things right, and they, as has been said, they will win, and likely to win because of the state of the other side, of the opposition. Aam Aadmi Party is a newbie. They're now entering fray, and Congress seems to have given up. I heard a very weird thing. I was in Himachal about 3 weeks ago, and a weird thing being asked there, that has the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, have they done a deal that Gujarat will be left to the Aam Aadmi Party and Himachal will be left to the Congress? I don't know. I mean, I find this far-fetched. But certainly that's the kind of thing, because Aam Aadmi Party is concentrating there and Congress is concentrating in Himachal. Himachal, let me say this, there was a very good chance for the Congress in terms of ordinary people's opinion who wanted change. Of course, there are the people, committed voters of the BJP, but there is also a growing sentiment in favor of change, which the Congress could encash if it, showed that killer instinct to go for it. They have fucked up of late, and Priyanka Gandhi is focusing her energies and attention there. So let's see what happens in Himachal.
And Aarti Charat, the point that Neerja Chaudhary is making, that this kind of conspiracy theories that are being propped up are very strange, because the Congress party often refers to the Aam Aadmi Party as the B team of the BJP, isn't it?
Yes, I know. In fact, but you know, I mean, I'm not surprised that there are these conspiracy theories, because the way the Congress is handling Himachal is quite different and in sharp contrast to the way it's, handling or not handling Gujarat. I mean, if Priyanka Vadra can spend so much time, energy and focus on Himachal, why is she missing in Gujarat? She could have divided her time between the two states. So clearly, the Congress has decided to focus on Himachal, and it's really almost like they've left, Gujarat to the Aam Aadmi Party to do whatever, make a breakthrough, get a foothold, a toehold, reduce the Congress's vote share, reduce the BJP's vote share, whatever it can achieve. And the Congress doesn't seem to be really bothered about that. It's a very short-sighted strategy, but, because for a political party to be willing to give up political space is very, very unusual. But yes, I mean, if this helps them to win Himachal, that will be a big feather in the Congress party's cap. And what I'm hearing confirms what Neerja and Javed have been saying, that there is a good chance for the Congress in Himachal. And not just because of anti-incumbency, but the BJP itself is so faction-ridden in Himachal. There is so much infighting, and every day we're hearing about people leaving the BJP and threatening to fight as independents, to challenge the official BJP candidate. And I mean, there is a huge opportunity there for the Congress. And if if Priyanka Vadra is actually able to get the party's act together in Himachal and they win it, I guess that would maybe silence the criticism that they left Gujarat to Aam Aadmi Party, or that they didn't pay any attention to Gujarat at all, because they knew that this is a state the BJP is going to win. So, why fritter away energy unnecessarily?
All right. So as we come to the close of the year, two important critical elections there, Himachal Pradesh and Gujarat. The dates for Gujarat have been announced today, with the Election Commission coming in for criticism, responding to them as well for having delayed the announcement. But let me thank all our panelists for joining us here on the discussion. With that, we're taking a very quick break.